got this passion, and it's burning deep inside of me.
Yo guys, what is up? As here once again. Today I want to show you another champion spotlight. This time featuring Sinesha. Sinesha is an epic from the Night Revenant faction. She is classified as a support champion. Let's quickly go over her skills. Her first skill, Burning Wave, attacks all enemies. Places an extra hit on enemies with less than 50% HP. Her A2 attacks one enemy and puts the target's skills on cooldown. It heals the ally with the lowest HP by 25%. Her A3 equalizes the HP of all allies. The HP level of all allies will be brought up to the level of the ally with the highest HP, then heals the target ally by 10% of their max HP. And lastly, her aura increases the ally HP in faction crits by 31%. All of Sinesha's skills scale with attack damage. Currently I have her set up as a secondary nuker for the arena. These are her stats. While building her, my focus were on attack, speed, crit rate and crit damage. I still have a long ways to go, because her sets are not optimized, but for now she works pretty fine. For masteries I went with the offense and defensive tree. I picked Deadly Precision, Keen Strike, into Single Out, Life Drinker, followed by Bring It On, Methodical, and War Master, because from time to time I'm also using her in dungeons. In the defensive tree we use Defiant, Proved Parry, Rejuvenation, Bloodthirst, Stubbornness to give her a little bit more resist, Delay Death, and Retribution to counterattack. As mentioned before, I have her set up as a secondary damage dealer for the arena. Her A1 in particular is great for killing stragglers. With her A2 and A3 she provides great support in order to finish even the toughest battles. While we fight in the arena, let's also talk about her strengths and weaknesses. While she is definitely great at dealing damage as a secondary damage dealer, sometimes she just, as you saw right now, will use her A2 instead of her A1. This can cost a lot of fights that could have easily been won. For this fight in particular, it doesn't really matter because she singled out the damage dealer. I think it's mostly fine, but in other battles, which I hope to show you in later stages, it can definitely cost the fight. For fights like this you might actually need to opt for manual battles. Here for example, let's do this battle again. As usual I will start with the debuffs and do my first nuke. I get a counter and then some damage. As you can see, everybody is low. For her, because she wants to kill the lowest target, she would use her A2 right now, which is definitely not preferred. Her A1 killed and forced another heal from another champion. Unfortunately, the Rhodos will just kill me over time. Her AI can be a little bit rough at times. Let's also walk her through some dungeons. Here I randomly slotted her in instead of my usual damage dealer, which is Vala. Don't know if this can work, but let's just try it out. With her heals and the block buffs, she can definitely provide some nice assistance. Seems that this run went still fine. Let's also walk her through some lower levels of spiders. For higher levels she needs to have a specific setup. In this case I will just pair her with Skullcrown. If set up correctly, where Skullcrown goes first and she goes after, they can make a really nice combo. Valkrown's A1 hits twice if the target has more than 50% HP, while Sinesha's A1 hits twice when the enemy has less than 50% HP. So both of them work really nice in combination. As you can see, below level 15 it's mostly a nuking strategy where you try to kill the spiders. For the other dungeons she doesn't really provide anything in particular that could be useful for these dungeons. For Fire Knights, she only multi-hits if the target has less than 50% HP. She is nice for the waves to keep people alive, but so would most other healers. For Ice Golem's Peak, because the boss hits so hard, you would need to have another defense buff or stun sets or something in order to keep the ads in control. I would probably opt for another supporter instead of her there. Flambos is unfortunately another area where she doesn't really shine. She doesn't provide anything for the team besides the heals. This could be good in itself if you don't have another healer, but with most people using Apothecary or other more utility focused healers, she might not be in your team for very long. If you get her early, she can be your campaign farmer, provided she has enough damage and speed. For this we would choose stage 6 instead of stage 3. She can definitely be used, but is probably not your preferred way of farming. Just in comparison, I will make the same run with a Skull Crown. As you can see, this was way faster. With more attack and probably more speed, it would be good as a campaign farmer, maybe below 25 seconds. But if you have your starter, or another great champion for that, she's probably not your first choice. She is one of the few champions where I actually decided to not book her up. The reason for that is that I wanted her A1 to hit as often as possible. Even then, her AI prefers her A2, and for her A3, it's mostly fine. If I could get the cooldown just in that, it would be great. But Vaporize, if she would use that all 3 turns, she would use her potential for a wave clearer for me. All in all, she can be a really great champion. Depending on how you want to use her, you need to equip her differently. In most cases, you want to use her utility with her strong A1 to actually stun the enemies, so a stun artifact would probably be the most optimal case. In my case, I just wanted additional damage, so the artifact that I put on reflect that. I would be interested in seeing how you build your Sinesha. Let me know in the comments. Hopefully you enjoyed this little spotlight. If you have her, consider building her if there's no other priorities. She's definitely a fun champion. For more videos like this, please consider subscribing. I will see you in the next one, and until then, peace out.